Today I'm going to show you a recipe that's going to completely change your life, because this recipe is for a simple homemade white bread or flatbread or a white paratha, and it's going to be perfect for all of your wrapping needs. So let's get started and let's see how to make this paratha. In Indian cooking, a paratha is just a flatbread which has been lightly toasted with some oil in a hot scorching pan. And that hot pan is what gives it the characteristic char and the smokiness in the paratha, which is one of my favorite things about a paratha. Now this bread is going to be made with just white flour or maida, so go ahead and measure that out in a big bowl, or in my case I'm going to do it in my KitchenAid. Also add in a few splashes of oil, a pinch of salt, and then add some lukewarm water and knead until the dough is nice and soft, supple, and not sticky at all. Just let that rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then once that's done, come back to it and then portion it out into however many portions you're making. So I'll be making some large flatbreads between 8 to 10 inches in diameter, so I'm going to divide that up into 3 portions. But let's say you don't want to wrap that big, so you can always divvy up the dough to suit your needs. Now once you've portioned it out, just turn that into balls and then let that rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, because that's gonna help basically to allow the dough to relax and then easily roll out into a thin disc. Now you can use a bit of flour to help with the stickiness. You don't want the dough to get stuck on your countertop, and then as you peel it off, it stretches more than you want it to. It becomes hard to work with. So anytime you want it to be easy to work with dough, just sprinkle a bit of flour, roll it out really nice and thin, and then here I'm making my paratha in a tawa pan. Tawa pan is usually used in Indian cooking because it can really go to a high temperature until the pan is smoking, and that's how you get the classic flavors in the paratha. Now if you don't have a tawa pan, you can use a cast iron and get it nice and hot. And if you don't have a cast iron either, you could use a nice non-stick pan, and just make sure you don't take the temperature too high on that pan, because usually that damages the non-stick, and you will just have to cook the paratha at a lower temperature. It will still be really good. So you want to cook it on that first side until you start seeing bubbles. Once you see the bubbles, then flip the paratha and then start cooking the bottom side as well. Now as that side is cooking, add some ghee or olive oil on the top of your paratha. That's gonna help give it that nice golden brown crust, and that's gonna make it really nice and soft as well. So do that on each side, and then you just set that aside, make the rest of your parathas, and you can actually easily store this in the fridge, just like how you do tortillas, and take it out, make your wraps, and have a great lunch whenever you need to. Today I'm going to turn these flatbreads into a classic Indian street food favorite, which is a classic egg roll. That's one of my childhood favorites. You can also use it to make chicken kathi rolls, paneer rolls, but one of my personal favorites is my North Indian potato brunch rolls. That one is to die for, and I've been making these parathas for such a long time, and it's time that you see how to make it as well. It's so good, it's so simple, you have no excuses. Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that bell icon, have a great meal, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.